IISD and Software Business, AVEVA, and Stratus. And during today's webinar, we will do recordings. And if you have any questions during the presentation, so you can type down your question on the chat box or simply click the raise hand button and the presenter will address your question during the Q&A session at the last part of his presentation. Next. Before we kickstart to our presentation formal, let me share with you our webinar and workshop series. So we already presented to you general introduction, demo, and interactive workshop in the last 6 sessions. And also, I just want to give you a brief overview on the agenda for today, which is AVEVA Edge with InSight Cloud. Next, Neil. On this webinar, we will focus on three main areas, such as first, AVEVA Edge integration with historian using symbols. Second is AVEVA Edge integration with InSight. Third is AVEVA Insight dashboard. And without further ado, I shall hand you over to our presenter for today. Over to you now, Nielsen.
Thank you, Janice, for the introduction. So before we start or kickstart the presentation, I will go through my AVEVA Edge VM. So as for this part, I'm going to run the application that we've created. So in this project, we've created a tank farm symbol where you associate the tags that we'll be using later for the historian. So this tank farm consists of different symbol grouped together as one. So as you can see, its value is changing from time to time. So meaning it is working. So in the development studio, in here, for the project tags, so for the datasheet view, you can see all of the tags that I've created to run the application. So in the COM tab, in here, you can see this driver, right? So clicking the driver, you could see the add and remove driver. So you could select any available driver in this selection, then select. And also you can remove the driver that you selected earlier. So click and remove. So as for now, we are using the PLC communication driver, which is the Modbus simulator. So in here, you can see its main driver sheet. So this main driver sheet have all the tags that are placed in the AVEVA Edge for us to communicate through the PLC simulator. So before we start, I'm going to give you an overview on the topic that we will discuss in this workshop. So first is the AVEVA Edge to Historian. So later I will teach you on how to create the trend logger, on how to run your application in AVEVA Edge, and also how to visualize your data in Historian Trend Client. So for the demo part, I will go through my VM again. So for the VM in here, so the first part that we're going to create is in this application is going to the task tab in here. After going to the task tab, right click the trend logger in here. Insert, then insert your AVEVA historian connection in here. So historian underscore connection. So this is a user base, so it's user preference. So any name you can write in the description. Then for the history format, choose the historian in here, then configure your historian settings. Then clicking on the historian on premises because we're gonna create the AVEVA Edge to historian, right? So we're going to use the historian on premises in here. Then click. Then for the server, write the local host because in the server we're going to use the data in the local host. But if you are going to use the historian data on another computer or other IP address, so you can write it in here for the server, the IP address and computer name of your data points. Then for the username and password, it is the username and password on your computer. So Nielsen Lee. Then after configuring all of the settings in your historian, click OK. Then save on tag change. And for this part, so you could select any data points or tag name in your project. So as for me, I'm going to use these tags. So let's first close this part. Then stop the connection. So I'm going to use this tag, the C tank, R pressure, and also the temperature. So after that, you should click the save button in here. Then click OK. Then the uh, historian configuration will be in here for the trend logger. So click X. Then the next step is going to the insert tab in here. Because we're going to create the trend client inside or trend chart inside the AVEVA Edge. So first, you should click the screen. So create a screen in your project. So let's say trend. Then configure the screen. After you configure the screen, click OK. So the trend page or the trend screen will appear in here. Then click the ActiveX control in here. For the draw tab, then libraries, then ActiveX control. Then find the AA his client trend because it's the one that we're going to use in the runtime. So AA his client trend control. So after clicking that, click OK. Then the trend chart will be in here. So the trend client. So resize the trend client, then click save in here. So we're gonna name our screen as a trend screen. So after that, click save. Then after you create the trend screen, so close. Then go to the navigation button in here. Navigation screen. Then for the trend button, double click. Then place the uh, screen that you want to open when clicking the button. So go to the list of the screen, then trend screen. And click open. And as you can see, we have configured the trend button in here where you in the runtime where you click the trend button, the trend client will show up. So after that, click save, then close the screen. Then after that, click the run in the home, local management, then run. So here is the homepage for our application. So the tank farm. So clicking the trend in here, you could see the trend client in here. As far as we're going to configure it, the first time you will see the chart in here, there are no server. So we're going to configure first the server in here. So as you can see, I am using the local host server in here. And if you want to use other server, you could place the computer name or IP address of that computer. So after configuring or placing the IP address, or if you want to use the local host, then click the add button in here. So the two tags that we've added in the trend logger sheet earlier is this two parts, right? So the data points is seen in the trend client. So you should drag the points in here. After dragging, you could see its value in the chart. So if you want to see the real-time data for the sea tank pressure or the sea tank temperature, you should play the trend chart in here. And you could see the real-time data for the two tags in your AVEVA Edge. So other parts or other alternative on viewing the the trend client in here is going through the start menu and going to the AVEVA historian, then click the trend. So as you can see, it's the same as the runtime that we've used for the ActiveX control. So clicking the local host, you could also see the two data points in here. So dragging the two data points, you could see also the same output in our runtime. So if you want to use the trend client inside the AVEVA Edge, so you're going to use the ActiveX control symbol. But if you want to view it in the AVEVA historian, you should go to the trend, AVEVA historian trend client, and you could see the same output or the same visualization for your data. So we're going to stop the project as for now. So in our part, in summary, we've created a trend logger sheet. So the trend logger sheet, it is the one we use to put all the tags or data points that we want to see in the trend chart or trend client. So we also run the application so that we have the real-time data. And also we visualize your data in the historian trend client in the AVEVA historian. So for the next part of our topic is the AVEVA Edge to InSight Cloud. So I will teach you on how to create a trend logger, how to run your application in AVEVA Edge, how to publish your AVEVA Edge data points to AVEVA Insight, and how to visualize your data points in AVEVA Insight. And lastly, how to create the dashboard in AVEVA Insight. So for the demo, I'm going through my VM again in here. So I'm going to delete the trend logger sheet. So the first part for the AVEVA Edge and InSight Cloud, the first part is we're going to create the trend logger sheet again. So for the trend logger sheet, I'm going to name it as an insight and historian. Then click the historian configuration. Then you could see the AVEVA Inside Publisher in here. Then for the connection name, it's user based. So any name you want to use. So as for me, I will going to use the AVEVA Edge 10. AVEVA Edge 10, then configure, then after that, click OK. Then for the second time around, we're going to add again the data points we want to see in the AVEVA Inside. So as for me, I'm going to use again the 2 data points that we use in the historian. So So after doing the or adding the tag name or tags in your Insight Trend Logger, so click Save in here, then click OK. Then click Close. And after that, you should run your application. So running your application, here again. So you could see in the show hidden icons in here, you could see this Studio database gateway. So you should double click it. Then the Studio database gateway will appear. So click the file, then AVEVA Inside connection. So add the name that you have added in your Insight Trend Logger. So AVEVA Edge 10. So I'm going to add the connection name. Then for the region, it's up to you if you want to use the North America, Europe, or Australia. But as for me, I'm going to use the North America in here. Then in this tab, you could see that you must have an AVEVA Insight account. So if you don't have a Insight account, you could create a new one. Or if you already have an account, then you could use the existing account. Then click. After clicking the existing account, so you should sign in your username and password in the AVEVA Inside Publisher. So after that, all of the solution in your AVEVA Inside Publisher will be seen in the list. So as for me, I'm going to use the Edge 2 in here. So clicking the Edge 2, it will prompt you to give a data source name. So we're going to use the AVEVA Edge. that we've used earlier. So publish. So after publishing, click the close button in here. So show log, clear. So it has the error. So clear. I'm gonna restart my application. So the next part is going to the web browser or the Google Chrome in here. So here, if you want to go to the AVEVA Inside site in this web browser, so you only need to type in the online here, .wonderware.com. So click, then the homepage will be in here. Then click the sign in button in here, then it will sign in your existing account for the AVEVA Inside. Then we've used the Edge 2, right? Earlier. So we're going to use that solution for this AVEVA Inside. So going to the administration. It never been published. Wait, I'm going to publish. Online, underwear. Photo. Yes, never been published.
It's okay. Continue, Nelson.
Okay. So after that, after you publish your tag name or data points in your AVEVA Insight, you could see any or all of the data points that you publish in the AVEVA Insight. So clicking all, you could click the add all in here, and you could see its current value in here. So after clicking its current value in here, so you could see if you want to delete or you should not use the data points in your content, if you don't want to use the data points in your content, you could click then only the tank pressure that you will use in here. Then for the if you want to use the only the temperature, then you should click only the temperature in here. So and the next part for the topic is for the AVEVA Inside dashboard. So as for the dashboard, should use the show gallery in here for the line chart. So for the line chart, you could see that we have the data points for the temperature and the pressure. So as for this part, you could save the dashboard or the line chart content in here. So clicking this share button in here, then you could share, you could embed, or you could download your line chart in here. And also you could save it in here. So for the saving part, the content like line chart, I'm going to use the content name for the line chart in here. And for this keyword is if you use the mixer type, let's say we're going to use the mixer keyword. So this mixer keyword will be the one that we will type in the search box so that all of the related content in the mixer will appear in the search box. So for the visible to in here, so you could see the only me and my team. So if you want this content to be available only to you or to your team. And also you could click this enable shareable link so that if someone or wants to see your line chart data in the AVEVA Inside, you could give him the link or give her the link so that he could see your data for the line chart. So as for me, I'm going to use only the only me, visible to only me. Then after clicking save, then your line chart value will be saved in the suggested content. Also, you could go into the you could also create the column chart in here. For the column chart, after creating the column chart, like clicking the show gallery in here, show gallery, then find any content in the gallery that you want to use in your dashboard. So as for me, I'm going to use the column chart. So it's the same. So if you want to save, then I'm going to type in the column chart here. And also, it has a mixer keyword so that later on, if I search the search box for the mixer type, all of the related content in this AVEVA Inside will be available in my search box and also visible only to me. Then clicking the save. Also, we could create the X and Y plot in here. For the X and Y plot, so you could also save and X, Y. So the keyword we will also be using is the mixer. So save in here. After saving, go to the home page. So as you can see, for the home page, the suggested content in here, you could see the three, right? So that is the three data that we've gathered or we've created in the suggested content. or in the AVEVA Inside show gallery. Then after creating, you could see here in the dashboard, we don't have any dashboard, right? So for the first time, we're going to use the mixer. So it's the keyword, right? Because we use the mixer in saving mixer keyword in saving the content in our AVEVA Insight. So if I search the mixer in here, you could see the keywords include mixer in here. Click that, then click the mixer type. So after clicking the mixer, you could see your mixer dashboard. So the mixer dashboard, you could edit. Okay. Sorry, mixer. So you could edit it in here. Click the edit part. So after clicking the edit part, you could minimize or resize your content, and also you could move. It depends on your preference as a for the dashboard. So if you move it inside in here, and also so rearranging the chart or the content in here, as you can see, and also you could remove any of the column chart or any of the chart that is added in the mixer dashboard. Because likewise, if you type the mixer, all of the mixer keyword or all of the mixer with a all of the content with the keyword of a mixer will be available and be added automatically in the mixer dashboard, right? So if you don't want this kind of content, you could remove it in here. Click the X button. But if you want to add any content in your AVEVA Insight without the keyword of a mixer, you could also add it in here. So after that, after rearranging, resizing your mixer dashboard, click the check mark in here. So I will name it a mixer dashboard and click the save button. So after that, go to the home button, home page of your AVEVA Insight, and as you can see in the dashboard, there is one, right? So clicking that, you could see your mixer dashboard. Then this is the one that you configured earlier. So that's how you create the AVEVA Insight dashboard in the AVEVA Insight web page. So as for the summary in here, in summary, we've created a trend logger sheet. So let's recap. So the trend logger sheet is the one that we use so that we add the tags in the trend logger sheet, and the data points or the tags will be added to the AVEVA Inside data visualization of your data points. Then also we run the application in AVEVA Edge. Also, we publish your AVEVA Edge data points to AVEVA Inside. And we visualize your data points in AVEVA Inside. Like we've done earlier, the C tank pressure and C tank temperature. And lastly, we've created a dashboard in AVEVA Inside with a mixer keyword. So if you don't have a keyword, you should uh, add the content manually. But if you want to add the content automatically with a one single keyword, so in saving the content, you should add a keyword in every content. So like we've done earlier, the mixer keyword, right? So that it will be automatically added in your mixer dashboard. And if you don't want to add that content, so you should remove that content, and also you could add any of the dashboard available in the suggested content on the homepage. So that's the topic as for this workshop. So I will give you back Johnny so that we can continue the presentation.
Thank you, Nielsen, for the presentation. So, and we'll go on now to our Q&A session. So please go ahead and type your question into the chat box, or you can unmute your audio to ask question personally, and we'll try and have them answered by our presenter. Any questions for our audience? Anyone? There is one question from Lauren. So, what is the maximum number of window that can display on dashboard? Nielsen, can you answer that?
There's no maximum window as long as the dashboard, as long as all of the content can actually place in the dashboard. So it's up to the resizing or rearranging of your dashboard. So if you want to place the dashboard in a resized form or bigger form, so it's up to you. But if you want all of the dashboard replaced, as long as it will fit in the dashboard that you will create. So there's no maximum or minimums.
And another one question. So, according to Sir Frederick, I have tried to load the historian client trend control active object, but I cannot find, does it need to be imported, or does it need to be imported?
Yes, I think it does not need to be imported because we're going to use the ActiveX control. Because sir, after creating the screen, you should click the AVEVA ActiveX control, right? So clicking that, you could see the AVEVA his client trend control. As for me, I didn't import the AVEVA his client trend control. So okay.
Is there any more
But
questions, audience?
if you don't want to use the wait. If you cannot use the ActiveX control, you could also use the .NET in here. The .NET control in here. If you have no AA his trend client control in this ActiveX, you could also use the .NET in here. .NET control. So so as for that, you could see in here the list, right? So go to the in here. It's also the same, the AA trend control for the .NET. for the .NET control, it's also the same, the AA trend control, and also for the AA his trend client for the ActiveX control. So you could also use this part if you don't have the ActiveX control. Okay, thanks.
There's another one question from Raymark. So what are the system requirements for the app to be installed?
The system requirements is only the Windows. So for the Windows, it can also be used in the Windows Server. And for the requirements, wait, I will email you all of the requirements in installing the AVEVA Edge application. And also, it needs to have the IIS for the computer, of the computer. So, Windows IIS. So, all of the requirements I will email you later if you want to install the AVEVA Edge. Thank you.
There any more question from our audience? Let's wait for a while. Someone's typing on the chat box. We might ask question. Um, I guess there's no more question from the audience. So uh, for this interactive workshop. So that's conclude our presentation. But thank you for your attendance today. So we hope you enjoy this interactive workshop. And if you have any questions or concern, so please do not hesitate to contact us at info@isdnsoftware.com or visit our website www.isdnsoftware.com. And please do also visit the AVEVA and Stratus sites if you're interested in their respective solution and offerings. And still, our IIC competition registration is still open until September 15th. And you can register on our website as well. So besides that, we would like also to invite you on our next interactive workshop, which will be held on September 17th. It's still Friday, same time. So the topic is Operation Management Solution with AVEVA. And again, thank you everyone and keep safe. And also, if you want to ask question, you can stay on the meeting room. Then our presenter will address your question. And that's all, everyone. Thank you and keep safe.